McDonald doing well, getting more into the game as the breaking ball favours Cork. Whipping it along the line is Mark Coleman. Ball runs on for Patrick Horgan, who's available. Into the centre. Oh, good hands. It's Harnedy. He's about to pull the trigger. Balance it. Here comes the shot. Oh, what a save!
What a save!
A magnificent save, Stephen O'Keefe. Save of the match, and it's only June 18, 2017.
Two brilliant saves in that passage of play, Marty. We'll come back to them.
And here come Waterford once more. They have the support. Going forward is Jamie Barron, hopping it on the surface. Great skill, great stick work. As Rick Walsh uses his short grip to give it out for his Kevin Moore. Captain from the Daisha, flicks it over the bar. A wonderful piece of wonderful hurling in Semple Stadium. Brilliant saves, great scores.
Well, Marty, unbelievable there. We see Kevin Moore levelling it up here. Waterford has scored 2 points, but look at the save. Look at the ball from inside from Patrick Horgan. Harnedy showed great composure, and what a save here by Stephen O'Keefe. Again, Alan Cadigan here coming in along the end line, did very well, and a rocket there as he was falling, another brilliant save. And both of those scores ended up with points for Waterford at the other end of the field. How big is that in the context of the game? Massive.
Now in Cork with the slither over the far side, and that ball is gone to the right and wide. Conor Lahan, only would I imagine about his second shot going astray in this first half. Let's go down to Donald Grady.
Well, Marty, Cork were doing very, very well, except for the last couple of minutes there that Waterford came back at them. But what's happening is Jamie Barron and Kevin Moore in the minute are dropping back the minute Cork's half back line get the ball, which is opening channels for the Cork forwards. But Waterford seem to have tightened up now in the last few minutes.
Jamie Barron under severe pressure. Cork chasing, harassing. They didn't lose their form. It is by no means a once-off that they beat the All-Ireland and Munster champions. They've shown enough in the opening 35 minutes to show Cork hurling at its best. Here comes Waterford. They're not gone either, as that slither is sent to the left and wide. And the referee, however, has blown his whistle and is giving a free to the Daisha. And a yellow card as well for Christopher Joyce for that challenge. This is what happened.
Yeah, I think it's Brick Walsh here picking up the ball. See the break, he looks up, sees Leeson, and the elbow was up a bit high there. And Austin Leeson hit it wide again. I know the ref has called it back, but Austin Leeson will be disappointed. He's hit 3 wides now from very, very scoreable positions.
1 minute of additional time at least going to be added on. Now we have a lot to talk about at half-time. No goals so far, but there should have been, as Stephen O'Keefe made some absolutely brilliant saves. This free on the Cork 65. Porrick Mahoney hitting it, but hitting it to the left and wide. It could have been a nice little psychological boost as the teams go into the break. Pulsating first half, Michael Gagnon.
Absolutely, very enjoyable, Marty. Look at 10 points each. Really, Cork should be up. They had 2 great goal chances, but Stephen O'Keefe kept them in it. The heat out there is absolutely savage, so they're going to be tired, but they get a chance now to regroup. And look, it's as we were at the start, and you know, brilliant first half.
4 times level in the first half, and guess what? At half-time, they're level as well. Waterford 10 points, Cork 10 points. Don't go away. We'll have the Newark and the break, and right back then with analysis.
Cahy and Ken McGrath here with me in studio, thoroughly enjoying that first half of hurling. I presume you were anyway, Ken. You were hopping around enough.
I wasn't hopping around. It's too hot to hop around, Michael. But
Fair point.
It was if the field is hot in here, it's like a sauna. But no, I enjoyed it. It's good championship hurling. There's not too much space out there. It's proper championship hurling. A lot of man on man, a lot of individual battles, and I think it's good. It's not maybe as high scoring as the Tip Cork game, but sometimes it don't always have to be like that as well to be a good game. And it's an intriguing enough match, and we have a great view here, so we're seeing what's kind of going on. And positions a lot of times don't really mean anything at times in the modern game, but I'm enjoying it so far, and I think it'll only get better in the second half. I think Waterford is the first game in 11 weeks. They need that under their belts.
Yeah.
I think Cork probably played better hurling in the first half, and yet it's only a draw. So I'd say Waterford happy enough for half time and eager for the second half.
There have been 3 draws between these 2 counties in the last 10 years, Tomas, and I wouldn't rule another one out here.
No, you certainly wouldn't, Michael. It was a fascinating first 35 minutes, particularly because, like, Mar Shannon being started, he became a focal point of the Waterford attacks very, very quickly. He was isolated aside with Cahalan and just started putting a lot of high ball inside there. He had his just rewards after 10-15 minutes. You see Paul Romani at centre forward very much coming into the game. He gets 3 points in play. And I suppose key for Cork realistically is they started well, which I wanted to see was the start they get, and they got some fantastic scores. Conor Lehan dropping off, right? Even Tyg de Burke is man marking him. He's dropping that 15-20 yards out towards the middle, which Tyg is kind of in 2-man's land where he go after him, but he doesn't go after him and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And it's allowing a bit of space to the inside. And they're playing very good ball to the inside forwards. Probably unlucky that they don't have a goal or two ahead at this stage on the basis of chances that they created. But in Waterford field, a few that they missed as well, a couple of bad wides. But on the goal chances, definitely Cork would have had the better chances.
Yeah, heading into that second half, Liam Sheedy, I mean, unlike the football that we saw earlier on in the day, was pretty much all over at half-time. I would defy anybody to call this one at this stage.
Yeah, no, look, it's really going to be really hard. I mean, what we had in the first half, I thought we had flashes of individual brilliance, and I think that really is what makes the game of hurling. You know, some of the scores that were taken, Conor Lehan had a catch there in that first half that you'd pay the entrance fee alone to see. So we have seen some real flashes of brilliance. And listen, Stephen O'Keefe's performance in that first half, like it's getting to the stage where you feel the team that scores the first goal, I think, will be a massive score in this game. So it's certainly still all to play for here.
Well, the team that you thought were going to score the first goal on about 3 different occasions was Cork, and it just didn't come. And as Liam said, the Waterford goalkeeper, Stephen O'Keefe, was just hugely important in all of this. But what goal chances?
Yeah, and it was clearly a tactic. You know, Cork may be playing just 2 inside and Harnedy coming out the field. And the ball that's coming inside is perfect for the forward. And Patrick Horgan does everything right. Turns Noel Connell's here, and he's heading down on goal. And I know Pat, he's from my own club, and I've seen him so many times stitch these ones up into that corner. He did right going across, and here Bill Cooper's going forward. It's inside to Alan Cadigan, and again, this is a fantastic save by Stephen O'Keefe. I mean, fantastic, because, I mean, you're at your near post and stuff like that. The forward is in rushing, and all he's doing is letting fly, and a fantastic save, being honest with you. And you'd have felt him, they should have been in the game.
Yeah, no, that was top class. But again, here, look at Patrick Horgan. Look at this for a ball. You know, just absolutely pitch perfect in across. And Seamus Harnedy again only has one thing in his mind. Now this save, I mean, that's just simply out. You know, that's top class, top drawer. You're just waiting for the net to shake at that stage.
Absolutely.
And you know, really, again, like that's a big dent on your confidence when those chances don't hit the back of the net. So, you know, in terms of Kieran Kingston or Derek McGrath, I think Derek will be the happier because he knows that they've got to find an extra gear. Kieran Kingston will be kicking themselves that they haven't taken those 3 chances.
And not only that, lads, but not only were the saves made, but then, Ken, Waterford got a couple of points off the other end of them.
Yeah, look, I suppose even with the 3 goal chances, the 3 were hit high. And I know Stephen O'Keefe from the club at Ballygunner at home. We played against him numerous times. He's a brilliant keeper, and you're told to bounce the ball in. And look, it's probably it was a keeper's height. Now, they're brilliant saves, but if you're telling young lads, you say bounce the ball in the corner and it wouldn't be stopped, you know.
Yeah. You would talk off yourself inside there. They're brilliant saves, fantastic.
No, unbelievable saves they were, but they were a goalkeeper's height and all fair. And look, if that's any against the Cork lads, it should be known. It would have been harder to save. Sure. But they were unbelievable saves.
So many moments in that first half to savour. Some great scores. Liam was saying there a minute ago. We could pick out, I suppose, most of the scores from the match, if you like. But Jamie Barron's point was just a wonderful piece of structure, if you like.
Yeah, look, I suppose this is what Waterford were trying to do, to cut out that space that Cork created against Tip a month ago. Shane Kingston, who was coming into the game a bit, had a couple of bad wides. Shane Kingston, Luke Meade and Adam Callaghan are not in the game as much today as they were against Tip, and that's a big plus for Waterford. Great defending by Tyg Burke, nice hand pass to the runner in Jamie Barron, and Jamie's in that for the last 3 or 4 years. He's an all-star last year, a vital part of the Waterford team. You see him, he's back out. He's all business, Jamie Barron, and that's what probably sums up when Waterford are going well. Like Jamie Barron is in creating havoc, getting on them breaks, running forward and bombing forward. And I'd say Waterford are happy again to win 10 points each at half time without really performing up to the very, very top level. The second half could be very, very interesting.
Because you see, the thing about it is, Liam, to repeat this again, at this stage, Cork have played 3 halves of hurling and Waterford have played 1. and they're obviously very much in this championship fixture.
Yeah, they are.
Start this match, second half.
It's a wonder they're
4
not
times level in the first period.
It's a wonder they're not sitting together, Marty.
Anyway, the second half is on. 10 points, Waterford, 10 points, Cork, and that could well change right at the start of the second half. The umpires are happy that Bill Cooper sets the tone for the second half. Great point.
Yeah, great score by Bill Cooper, and you know, we were just saying there at half time here, visually and with the chances, Cork seemed to dominate that first half and they were level. They'd be disappointed not to be maybe 5 or 6 points up at half time, and that's a good start now for the second half. Bill Cooper, hard worker, normally you don't see scores like that from great score from the sideline.
Puck out, drops just outside the Cork 45-metre line. Waterford regained the possession, and that is simply tucked between the posts by Austin Gleeson. It's the second point of the game. 2 really good scores, and the sides are level for the 5th time.
Yeah, he made that look so easy. A class score again, and that's what's frustrating, I suppose, sometimes when he hits those bad wides, is that he has so much ability.
Puck out finds Bill Cooper. Ball hops in for Stephen O'Keefe. 2 wonderful saves in this first half that Cork will look back on with regret. They were hit superbly, matched by the brilliance of the Waterford keeper. Sideline ball goes to Cork. Very difficult conditions in one way in terms of the heat here. It seems to be getting warmer as the day progresses.
Yeah, and you'd imagine the subs bench will have a big part to play today. And interesting, I know Waterford have quite a bit of talent on the bench with Patrick Curran, Jake Dillon, Colin Dunn, for lads with loads of experience, and maybe Cork don't have that same strength and depth, so will that be a feature?
Beautifully cut in by Mark Coleman. Running on tight to Burke, couldn't get there ahead of Patrick Horgan. Alan Cadigan can't pick it up. Good work by Noel Connors. Lays it off swiftly for his Shane Fives. Switching in towards the corner. Chasing after it is Shane Bennett. Hefty shoulder of McDonald, fair one. Here comes, and it's into the side netting. Shane Bennett, as Anthony Nash was coming off his goal line, Shane Bennett holds his head in anguish because he did everything right except the finish.
Yeah, great shoulder, but Anthony Nash did great. I think he came out there, he cut off the angle. He was off his line very, very quickly, and that was the crucial thing. If you watch him here, look at where he is. He's nearly out on top of him, made it difficult for him and into the side netting. Again, a good chance though.
Mightn't have been as spectacular as Stephen O'Keefe's save, or 2 saves in fact, but still good goalkeeping by the Cork netminder from Kentucky. And away come Cork here. It's Harnett to beat it, bearing down a goal, and it's gone out for a 65. But Seamus Harnedy had got inside the cover, the Waterford cover, and was bearing down in goal.
Yeah, Marty, a feature of today's game is the defending. You know, top class there again. Great hook coming in. I think Seamus Harnedy was. Here's Jamie Barron. Look what the ground he covered here, and in he comes, and that's textbook here. The way he just leaves in the hurl there and gets a little flick. Brilliant defending. And interesting there, I think Seamus Harnedy was fouled. He was pulled there. The referee indicated for an advantage, but didn't accrue. I think he should have called it back for the free, but it is the 65, which Pat Horgan will probably score.
33,163 is the official attendance in this sweltering heat. Good work by Jamie Barron, as you said, Michael. Good score in the first half, and then a wonderful little hook as that is sent over the bar by Patrick Horgan. 5 points, 3 frees, 1 from play, and 165.
Yeah, beautiful strike again. Just lovely trajectory, just a foot over the crossbar. Beautiful strike by Patrick Horgan.
Here come Cork again. This is Conor Lahan. Right along the sideline. He was standing on it, surely. And that is a magnificent point by the Middleton star. 3 points.
This is what he does, Marty. He scores these difficult ones all the time. He misses a few handier ones, but this is just unbelievable. From the sideline, split the post, straight over the black spot.
We had 3 goals in the Cork Tipperary game, 4 goals in the Clare Limerick match, and 4 goals in Wexford Kilkenny. No goals here so far, but some wonderful goalkeeping and some wonderful point taking. But you sense that goals could well decide this particular Munster Hurling Championship semi-final. Almost 40 minutes of action. 5 minutes into the second half. The little bit of breeze that we saw around the 20th minute of the first. Charleville people aren't in Semple Stadium. They're certainly watching the Sunday game today to see one of their own. Ball breaks. Nice stick work. Beautiful flick again by Gleeson, as The referee blows the whistle. He's taken over the free-taking responsibilities today. He's been the master of consistency so far. He drives that well into Thurles down for his 6th point of the game.
Yeah, I think that's benefiting both players. You know, Conor Lahan doesn't have the free taking on his mind today. He's playing very well in general play, and Patrick Horgan, nice point from play, 65 and 4 frees now, so 9 points between the two lads.
Level at half-time, 10 points each. Level once at the start of the second half, but right now, 3 points between the teams. And Waterford finding it difficult to get past this Cork defence. Colm Spillane laying it off. Farrell's Dara Fitzgibbon past 2 defenders. Has to go back into his own defensive area, and the call came from Damien Cahalane. Crossfield ball. Gathering it is Horgan. Nice stick work, nice work. Brilliant point. 7 points for Patrick Horgan. And for the first time in this match, there was a little bit of a gap developing.
Yeah, look at he used his body very well there. Just shielded, let it break inside, and straight away flicked it over the bar. Didn't bother going for goals. And you know, I think this scoreline reflects this is what Cork have been threatening since the start. They're really dominating the game. Their work rate, their tackling all over the field is absolutely savage. I expected Waterford to bring that to the game, but Cork are bringing that. They're out fighting them, they're out battling them, and they have that bit of extra class up front, which is really beginning to tell now.
Listen to the crowd roar their approval. This is Seamus Harnedy. Nice stick work. Has to go back into the middle. Where's Conor Lahan? Just inside the Waterford 65-metre line. It has the legs, but it doesn't have the accuracy. Ball is wide for Cork's 8th wide of this championship semi-final.
Yeah, bad wide in the end, but again, great teamwork. You know, that's the thing that's impressing me. They're looking up, they're looking for the man. Seamus Harnedy another time could have taken on the shot that wasn't really on. He gave it into the better player in the best position, and Conor Lahan will be disappointed to put that one wide.
This is Stephen Bennett under a little bit of pressure. Sends it across over towards his brother Shane. Ball carried a little bit too much pace. Out over the end line and wide.
Yeah, Waterford will be looking for leaders. You know, Jamie Byrne is doing in the middle of the field. Their backs are playing well, but up front, they're looking very rudderless at the moment. Anthony Nash arguing there that the only player not outside the 21 was a Waterford player, so he shouldn't be penalised because of that, which I suppose
moved away the Cork player. Got him out of his way. Anthony Nash comes off his goal line, gathers. He had to, having come out that far. And he gives it an almighty wallop deep into Waterford territory. Batted away on this occasion. Jamie Barrett over Farrell's Philip Manning. Under a bit of pressure. Cork chasing and harassing, doing the hard work. Once again, it's Stephen Bennett. Damien Cahalane got a little touch. It's half blocked. Picked up by Dara Fitzgibbon. Cork man down injured. Was pushed away. The Cork medical team are trying to get in. Meanwhile, the play continues on. Comes Farrell's Pádraig Manning. Under pressure, he still managed to get a shot in, and that's over the bar. Score by Pádraig Manning, his 5th of the game.
Marty, I only had a look at that out of the corner of my eye, but I think Stephen Bennett's going to be very lucky there. If it was seen, I think he pulled the face guard. If you watch it here, he came back, he wasn't happy with Cahalane. He catches him here, that's a red card. Hasn't been caught by any of the officials here, but you watch it here. Again, he's not happy. He catches him by the face guard there and pulls him to the ground.
See
That's
it there quite plainly.
That's a straight red.
Stephen Bennett should have been punished, Michael, for that.
Well, look at it. That's the rule, and he was agitated. He threw the ball first all up in his face and tried to strike it, and he was blocked down, and he came back at him from behind. The referee is ordered to look, didn't see it, and Stephen Bennett very, very lucky there.
Should have been shown a red card for that pull on Damien Cahalane's helmet. Ball is pucked out. Good work by Conor Lahan. He managed to keep it from going out over the sideline. But Waterford have the possession. Little flick back from Austin Gleeson. And Waterford drop it in again. It's 2 against 2. Ball becomes available, and it's Damien Cahalane. It's helping out his cornerman. Still Cahalane trying to get away from Shane Bennett. Still Cahalane picking up Bill Cooper. Bill Cooper drives it into the Waterford half of the field. Kai de Burke is back there, blinded by the sunshine. Recovers well, steps into the Cork half of the field, flicking it into the middle. Kevin Moran comes across to gather. Cork are there in numbers once more. Good work by the Rebels. not giving up, chasing, harassing on the ground. Good work by Alan Callaghan. Picked up on this occasion by Luke Meade. Luke Meade trying to get it into the middle. Scooped up by Padraig Mahoney. Mahoney can't hold on to the possession. The sliotar is just inside the Cork half of the field. Now it comes far as Michael Brick Walsh, guiding it into the middle. Plenty of Cork defenders then, but it runs on to Maurice Shanahan, heading towards the 20. On the 13, tries to steal Maurice Shanahan. Pulls! Goal, Waterford! Maurice Shanahan gets the break and scores a cracking goal.
Well, Marty, how crucial is that passage of play? You know, it was frantic, it was hectic. There was players falling, tackling. There might have looked like there was a few fouls, but you watch it here, a bit of luck that you need sometimes. He loses control of the ball, it breaks off the leg there of Cahalane, straight back into his path, and he sticks it in the net.
He was persistent. The little flick on the wrist was superb. The ball broke just here for him, and he whipped it into the back of the net. Cork defenders will be really disappointed for the first time in this match.
They will be disappointed, but it was a bit of luck, and sometimes you get that, and really Cork had their goal chances, they didn't take them, and that's Waterford's first goal chance, and it's in the net.
Sides are level again. Seamus Harnedy is fouled.
Yeah, he's arguing now he was through on goal, but there's no black card in hurling, and when you see tackles like that, that was cynical. It's going to be a yellow card.
Barry Kelly going to deal with the situation. Cork players were protesting. He's shown a yellow card to Barry Coughlin. Harnedy was heading towards goal. It seemed to have opened up for him. Here it is. As he got by, there was a high challenge. And that was more than a yellow card in my book.
Yeah, it's marginal. He caught him high. He didn't catch him by the face guard like we saw with Stephen Bennett. That probably saved him. But, you know, I actually don't like the black card sometimes, the way it's applied in football early in matches. But that's why it was brought in, for cynical fouls like that, when a lad is in on goal. And really, there should be more of a punishment.
Here comes the fray. And Patrick Horgan pucks it over the bar for his 8th point in the match. And Cork put their noses in front. That was a high challenge.
Yeah, it was close. He's very lucky to stay in the field.
That's potentially 2 red cards for 2 Waterford players right now when you think of Bennett and Barry Coughlin.
The Bennett one is closed book.
That's right.
That's a red card.
Ball is pucked out. Stephen O'Keefe pulled up and out over the sideline off the stick of Christopher Joyce. Let's go down to Donald Brady.
Well, Marty, just looking at the Waterford defence, first of all, Noel Connors had actually switched across on Seamus Harnedy because he was doing very, very well on Barry Collin, but they've switched back again now, possibly because of the influence of Patrick Horgan. And I think Waterford are trying to draw Damien Cahalane out of the game a little bit out to the middle, so they have channels to run through. Maybe hence the goal that Maurice Shannon got there a few moments ago.
Ball comes down far as Tommy Ryan. He hits it very high, but he hits it wide as well. 1 point between the teams. 6 times level. 4 in the first half. And thankfully, only 14 minutes gone into the second half. Anthony Nash looks around at the options. Changes the direction. Lovely stick work by Conor Lahan. He has the time and the space here to drop it in. Carried a little bit too much weight on that particular ball. And once again, it's Noel Connors that's available and Philip Mahoney. It's Mahoney that gives it into the centre. Austin Gleeson going up for it. The 2 Corkmen go up for it. Bill Cooper is half blocked. Ricochets in towards Alan Cadigan. Picked up by Philip Mahoney once again. Challenged by Seamus Harnedy. Referee blows his whistle, and it's a free this time for Waterford.
Yeah, crucial stage now, Marty, of the match, obviously. You'd imagine the next couple of scores that Philip Mahoney, very good wing back, very consistent. Just Harnedy comes across and clips him there, and a free out. But you know, a little bit of composure now. As I mentioned, Waterford not playing with that much up front, they're not winning much possession, and Cork again wasting a few balls there as well in the last few minutes. They started the half very, very well. So the next 5 minutes, a couple of substitutions is going to be crucial in this game.
Stephen O'Keefe takes the fray. Spreads it over to the far over wing. Kevin Moran can't control it. Sideline ball for Cork. The pace of the game certainly has dropped in comparison to the first half, and trust me, I don't blame the players. It is a hot, hot day.
We're not used to it, Martin. Here's a bottle of Coke after being handed in here. We'll share it when we get a chance.
I'm on the H2O, Michael.
Brendan Donoghue could turn up anywhere.
Ball comes out far as Patrick Horgan. Good work again as Waterford. Jamie Barron flicks it into the middle. Kevin Moore. Oh, there was a stone wall shoulder. Referee rightly says play on, but my word, you could feel the earth move as Kevin Moore hit the ground, and listen to the earth react with a fantastic point by Conor Lahan, his fourth in this Munster Championship semi-final.
Yeah, and they're arguing that was wide, I don't know, but that's the type of score that can change again. What a shoulder here by Bill Cooper came in, and back to Lahan. I mentioned it already about how he scores the difficult one, and Stephen O'Keefe, certainly that was gone wide, and we have Hawkeye here. We have Hawkeye here, and Thurles not used there. That's why it was brought in for those marginal runs. Hard to say from up here, but Stephen O'Keefe was and Pádraig Mahoney was on to the ref about that one.
Puck out from Stephen O'Keefe. And Cork beginning to find their momentum despite that Maurice Shanahan goal. In comes Philip Mahoney. Ends this particular Cork attack. Ball into Spitz. Chasing after this is Kevin Moore. Back minding him is Christopher Joyce. So too is Bill Cooper. Cork seem to have that extra man, that level of intensity. Maurice Shanahan up front all alone. Hefty shoulder in the Cork man. Has knocked up his Hurley Mark Ellis. Back comes Damien Cahalane. Over fires Dara Fitzgibbon. Surrounded by two Waterford players. Lays it off first Colin Spillane. The Castle Lions man sends it down the wing. Down towards Alan Cadigan. First touch is crucial. And Cadigan has it. Given a little bit of space. He can flick this between the post and over the bar. Alan Cadigan. Douglas. Cork. Southside. First point of the game.
And Marty, I don't think you can understand when he played Hurling how difficult that take was. He was coming full speed, the defender was right up behind him. A brilliant take, and for a lad who hasn't been in the game, that's his first score of the game. Showed great confidence, composure to take that on and stick it over the bar. Super score.
And I was making the point earlier in the first half, the ball just wasn't hopping when it was coming towards him. It would just glance off the grass. So he certainly seems to be sharp. As Waterford go back into the attack, it's Kevin Moran that's available. Moran gives it absolutely everything, but he sends the ball wrong side of the post and wide. 3 points between the teams again. Remember, Cork 18 points, Waterford 112. And there's always a sign of a good side when they concede a goal like Cork did, and they have responded, haven't they, Mike?
They did the very same against Tipperary. Every time Tip got a good score, they went back down the field and got it, and they've been doing this. They've responded very well to the goal now, the last possession. But Waterford really struggling for scores. You're looking into the forward line there and you're saying where are they going to come from, whereas Cork looked much more dangerous. They have so many options up front in their attack and so much pace.
Sideline ball for Cork, going to be taken by Mark Coleman. Scored one beautiful point in the first half. That was from a sideline ball. And Waterford are going to make a substitution. This is Patrick Curran, who normally plays corner forward, son of Pat from Cappoquin. And gone off is Shane Bennett. So Patrick Curran in, Shane Bennett is off.
And Stephen Bennett was taken off very quickly there after that incident. Earlier, Tommy Ryan was brought on there, kind of slipped on, I call it. We already saw it happening.
Here come Waterford again. But Cork coming to terms as the game progresses. Flicking it forward. Again, nice stick work. Putting the Hurley, the slipper, back passing it as such. Christopher Joyce, however, despite his best efforts, the jersey pull was visible to the referee, and that's going to be a free for Cork.
You see there, just a little tug, very soft free from Kevin Moran, but it is a free.
There was no need really to foul him.
No, but I just think Waterford's discipline today is slightly off. There's been 2 or 3 incidents like that. It creates a half chance for Patrick Horgan. It's a long way out, but as I said earlier, his striking distance is never usually a problem, and it gives a chance then for the players to regroup and catch their breath.
Kieran Kingston has taken off his son, Shane Kingston, and Michael Cahalane is on from Bandon. Scored the crucial and final goal as the ball is dropped in, ball is wide. Let's go down to the sideline for some sideline reaction. Donald Grady.
Yeah, Martin, just looking there at the Cork setup, obviously Waterford are going for goals. They're just leaving one-on-one inside, and with this injection of pace now with their substitutions, they'll be hoping to get at the Cork defence.
Here come Waterford now, from out along the sideline. That is a superb effort. That's the sort of point that the team needs, and Patrick Curran, the substitute, who is a really good corner forward, puts that over the bar. That's Brian O'Halloran actually that's on. Brian O'Halloran is on, and he scores a great point.
Yeah, lovely score from Brian O'Halloran, and you know, they needed that injection in the forward line. Brian O'Halloran very, very pacey, and a great score to settle him into it.
Waterford come again, going for long range points, but this one is to the right and wide.
Again, a lack of composure there by Waterford. You know, a hit and hope from way out the field. Morris inside one-on-one, looking, crying out for possession. But since half-time, I don't know if one ball has been played in front of Morris Shannon. He starved the possession. The one ball he got, he ended up in the back of the net.
Long puck out again. Oh, great catch by Seamus Carnegie, and he's gone inside. He's trying to get inside.